Hi, Matthieu. Thank you to the Boguslavski. Welcome to the Boguslavski and Co podcast. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm very excited to speak to you today. Your film background and portfolio is very impressive. Currently, you're the CEO of TATINO Films, which is a Paris-based film consulting and production company. You run diverse film labs. You support well over 100 film projects globally. You're also involved in many other ventures, like from deputy chair of the European Film Academy, curator of film at Venice, Cannes, and many other things. Now, to our first question, how did you get started in the film industry, and how has your role evolved within the European film ecosystem?
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm very glad to be here. Yes, I've been starting basically supporting film talents because I was making film myself, and I felt like it's sort of a lonely exercise. So I wanted to meet with other filmmakers, and that's how I started a European network of young cinema called Nizimaza when I was in my 20s. And this
What did you study at university?
I study humanities, social sciences, of course,
Okay.
also a bit of cinema, but not a film school. And I was also writing for a film magazine called Positif. It's a important historical magazine in France.
Okay.
So I started this Nizimaza, and basically little by little, or I would say maybe more rapidly, because after a couple of years, our network was present in 27 countries. We were organizing workshops for filmmakers, for short filmmakers, for documentaries, for film journalists. So basically, I really enjoy doing that, and that's what I've been doing since then.
Most people might have gone in a production company direction, but you went more in like an accelerator, right? For and
Yes.
yeah, with your film First Cut Labs, to help independent films, kind of gain reach. And how did that come about? Was it a conscious decision of I'm not going to do a production company, I'm actually going to do it a little bit differently?
Well, of course, you do things which maybe fit the kind of person you are and what you want to do in life. Maybe the little challenge with what I've been building up all these years is that there was no existing model. It's not like it's something that people
Mm.
do before me, and I could say, okay, I want to do just that, because the world of film labs and residencies and workshop, um, right now they are rather developed, but historically it's a construction. It's a construction which is connected to film school, to film festival, to the democratization of cinema. But all in all, it's actually, I'm very interested in how films come into being, basically the creativity, the creative process, and the fact that there's not absolutely a single way for it to happen. However, when you look, I mean, not only cinema but all forms of arts, um, the artists and talents and masterpieces don't come out of the blue. They come out of a very specific context, and very often it's communities that are fostered. There are people who are actually exchanging together, challenging each other, supporting each other, and these communities were created in different ways over the centuries, very often connected to a state or to a city. And I think in 21st century is very different, because you have different communities that add up. That is not one against the other, but you can have a very close community of friends or like-minded people from where you live, but you can also connect through the net internationally. And basically, I belong to the generation of European people who feel equally connected to fellow filmmakers from other countries. So I think a lot of what I created is to make these communities that are international, and so that's the sense of this workshop. Very often they have they bring together people who have different but have also similar views. And to answer your question, it's not really that I did one thing or the other. It's more like one action led to another one, which led to another one, and I think what I created is unique. And there are many filmmakers, there are many production companies, there are many festivals, but to be at the crossroad of all of that is something I crave out myself.
Speaking of international film labs and what you are saying and kind of getting the film projects out there and supporting filmmakers, have you seen what Saudi Arabia has been doing with the Red Sea Film Festivals? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I have thoughts on that and many other things. I think that I mean, you know, historically these labs, if you talk about the US, they started with people like Robert Redford in with Sundance, which felt like filmmakers are independent filmmakers in the US are not well supported and connected, and this moved to different parts of the world. And talking quickly to Red Sea, I was back in 2010 when the cinema Gulf countries started to invest in cinema with festivals like Abu Dhabi, like Dubai Film Festival, like
yeah, which is now no longer exists, the Dubai
yeah,
International Film
exactly,
Festival. Quite sad. Yes.
like the Doha Film Institute, which still exists. But I was running actually these workshops with both Abu Dhabi and Dubai. And in Dubai, one of the things we started is a script development program for filmmakers from the Arab world.
Well,
And one of the first filmmakers attending the lab was with our first feature project was Wajda. So it's the first film directed by a woman filmmaker in Saudi Arabia.
oh, wow.
So basically, and I talk about Dubai because until recently, the head of Red Sea Film Festival was a managing director of
Yeah,
Dubai.
and then they moved a lot of talent over to Saudi. Yeah.
So basically, this is an attempt at a successful attempt at creating communities and of support, but to filmmakers. But what's unique about Saudi Arabia is like back in 2010, I was directing a film festival and I organized a retrospective of short films from Saudi Arabia when actually it was very much no support, underground. So Saudi cinema existed even before it was supported, which is like quite recently, the last 6-7 years.
Saudi Arabia, well, the Red Sea Film Festival, heavy invested and helped by the government and the country, right?
Mhm.
Does France have similar? Do you have any support from the country?
Obviously, the support, the system of public support in France is basically dates back from the end of the World War II. The French Film Center was created in 1946. So over the years, over the decades, there's a complex system of support, and then movement of film schools which were created after the public and private ones. Recently, I think 10 years ago, a new film school started in France, like La Cinéfabrique. So there's a multi-layer ecosystem of support in France, definitely.
What would you say the most significant changes you've noticed in European film industry in the past few years?
I hope I will not sound very banal because I feel like it's something that everybody observes, but maybe we have different understanding of what is going on. I mean, for me, filmmaking is about storytelling, and you have different realities that coexist, and sometimes they have the same people move in one field or another. So there's this system of independent art house cinema, which exist and still exist, and in Europe is rather strong. But along this independent cinema, which is actually financed quite heavily by television, all the platforms started to exist. So now there's this coexistence of the two. And myself, I actually work both with talents from both worlds. And again, the worlds, it's not that they are separated. There's no borders. There are blurred borders, but it's I would say that European cinema is not only European cinema, world cinema is facing these streamers that it's a little bit television, but it's also cinema coming from Netflix. The background of it is really a mix of tech and Hollywood. So I think this is what has been a major evolution these days. But there's also I think people have been very fast in saying that people don't want to watch film in cinema, and even though the overall figures are a little bit lower than what they could be 10 years ago, I think it's people still massively go to cinema. They also go to watch films online. So I think that that's European cinema, but it's a case in other countries as well.
You mentioned tech and Hollywood. What are your thoughts about AI? Because this is now obviously a hot topic in your industry. What are your thoughts about AI and cinema?
I mean, I have a lot of different thoughts about it. I think that it's both fascinating, exhilarating, and that's also why it gets people mad, because in the literal sense, because the scope of what the possibilities it opens are so huge that it's difficult to understand them and to comprehend them. And actually, the people are on top of, let's say, riding the wave don't even understand it themselves. So to me,
But people are also scared.
Yeah, but to me, I compare it to human beings discovering fire, and fire, and everything you do with fire, and so it's from fire to atomic energy, and so it's like, what do you think about atomic bomb? That's basically a little bit similar. Or atomic energy. Atomic energy is like, wow, how incredible it is to imagine the kind of energy that could be generated from few atoms, and how incredibly dangerous it is. And I think AI is a continuation of that. So of course, there are plenty of reason to be massively scared about it. What is most scary is that there's no common understanding of safeguard processes that so you see that it's being developed really chaotically. I mean, there's no safeguard. The institutions, the organizations that should safeguard it, they are not capable to do it. So that's my state about it. there's not I'm not in the position of being for or against it. It's like it's so massive with so many massive consequences that it's really fascinating.
And final question, what's a film project that you've been involved with in some way that you're really excited to see come about this year?
There are some that already came out, at least in festivals, that I was very happy that they came out and they were very strong. One of them is a Nepalese first film that did one of our residencies, a pop-up film residency, and premiere in Cannes, Un Certain Regard, won the jury prize. It's a beautiful story about a community of transgender people in the Nepals, and it's a strong drama, and so that's one of the film I'm quite proud we supported. But every year there's about 50 films that took part in our programs in a way or another that premiere. So it's already a little bit unfair that I mentioned this one example because what about all the others?
Favorites.
But yeah, the project we support, each and every one of them have their own challenges. So it's not always the same ways to look at why a project has been successful or not. It's not necessarily a prestigious festival. It's not necessarily the box office. Simply for the film simply to exist is already an achievement. So yes, but
And it
actually,
sounds like beautiful storytelling. I mean, and anything that can break down any kind of boundaries, and especially if a story about transgender, that's incredible.
yes, you should have seen the reception in Cannes. That was amazing.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I know it's been short, but thank you so much. This has been
Thank you so
amazing
much.
chatting to you. Thank you.